Hello everyone and welcome to Google Cloud OnBoard. My name is Ify and I'm an instructor for Google Cloud. Today we will be talking about Module 4, Drive Insights using Machine Learnings. At any time during our live sessions, you can ask questions on our platform and our team is standing by to answer them. So let's get started. Alright, so we're going to drive insights from unstructured data using machine learnings. Alright, so we're going to see some of those business values that actually able to drive by machine learnings, and then later on we're going to see how the machine learning able to taking care those unstructured data. And of course, we're going to choose some different kind of approach for machine learnings, and then I'm pretty sure this part you will love it because I really love that, and then you're going to see those cool demos. All right, so we will have pre-built AI building blocks, and then we can do some customized pre-built model with AutoML, and then of course the last option, you build a custom models. Okay, so let's see what are those business value that actually the machine learning drive. For examples, some real world ones that coming from our customers, of course. So for example, the first one it's Ognet. All right, so this is actually coming from Japan, and it's actually a very cool one because they do second-hand vehicles. Okay, so they basically need to get some second-hand vehicles from some users, and then they will make it nice and then sell it to someone else. Yes, that's one of the business they do. And then what's the kind of challenge they have? Pretty simple. Estimates the price. Because very simple, when there's a user goes to them, they wanted to sell their cars to get some money, and then they can go for something nice. But at the same time, of course, people wanted to get the price higher, but from the standpoint of the company, they wanted to get lower. So they always try to have the estimations, and when the price is okay for both sides, then deal. All right, so in this case, everyone have to take their vehicles to the shops, and then they have to make the predictions. So they'll basically do the estimation, not a prediction, to estimate what's actually the price for the cars that actually they're going to pay for the user and then get the vehicles. But it is quite a common case that people, they believe I do very nicely to maintain my cars, and then so this is going to sell a very nice price, and then I just bring my car to the shop, and then the estimation is not what you want. Okay, maybe that's a number which is a little bit different than what you expected. Okay, so in that case, it's actually yes. First part is disappointing the user, and on the other hand, the company, they're actually using an effort, they have a shop there, there's some humans there to actually do the estimations. So it's a both side no-win, because when there's no deal, it's a lose-lose game. So they're trying to minimize those chances, but then they still need to find a way to make things scalable. So what they do, pretty simple. Why don't you try a model? So they create an image model to actually have the price of the vehicles. So now what they do is they create the image model and put in their website. So customer, when they wanted to do something, before they go to the shop, what they do? Taking some photos, everyone have a camera. Taking some photos and then put on the website, upload it. Then the system just tells you, that's the estimates price. And then with that estimates price, yeah, why not? Maybe that's a good price, that's a good range. Maybe you don't really get the exact numbers, but at least that looks something. Okay, it makes sense. So maybe I'll go for the real number. If the number is actually something, it's a little bit far from your imaginations, then maybe you will make a call first instead of just go for the shop. So you save a lot of time for the end user and for the company. So this is a win-win game. And that's all about machine learning, because that really brings you the business values. Okay, and the second one is Ocado. Okay, so this is the one we have mentioned, is using natural language API and then route some customer emails for taking care of those feedbacks, right? Because Ocado, it's an online grocery shop, and then they have a lot of feedback every day. They need to easily to route those customer emails to those related departments. So that's kind of the case, and then they need to scale. So using a natural language API will just make things easy. And then the third one, which is called Giphy. Oh, Giphy, interesting. Very similar to my name called Ify. All right, so Ify, if you never heard about that before, I do suggest you can give it a try. I mean, I love that. I mean, when I need some joy, I'll just go for that because that one brings you a lot of like cool memes. All right, so that one is a website. People can just use their imaginations, use their creativities to create something nice and easy, and then just upload to that website and then to share with everyone. So that's a place you can easily just go, and then there's a search bar, you type in anything. For example, you type in laugh, and then boom, you get a whole bunch of image or kind of like small videos, which is laugh. But for make that able to happen, it's actually hard. Why is that? Imagine how many users actually upload those video, those image to Giphy. It's a lot. And it's hard for them to actually to do what? Make it searchable. When we want to make things searchable, at least we need to have some metadata. For example, a tag on it. So in that case, yes, you need a tag on it. So then you need to do something to able to get the tag. So what I do? They use a Vision API. Okay, so they use a Vision API to actually able to find the tags in the meme or able to recognize what is in it. For example, a cat, a dog, all right, or a human. And the fourth one is Uniqlo. So Uniqlo actually wanted to improve their user experience when the people coming to their shop to do the shopping experience. And what they're trying to do is always, of course, I mean, every single shop, they wanted to minimize the time that people looking for what they need and then to go for a deal. Because when there's a deal, it's a win-win game. People find what they need, and then the shop get the revenues. Okay, so how to get a deal? So how to minimize? That's basically we call the shopping experience. So what I do? I mean, of course, they have a lot of people there to taking care of all the customer needs, but at the same time, maybe some people they just don't like people to involve. Because they feel like, oh, you wanted to sell me something. I just wanted to look around. Maybe I found something and I'm going to buy it. So they just create a chatbot, which is nice and easy. If you want to, you can give it a try. It's based on a dialogue flow, which is a very nice, easy way you can create a chatbot. And with that, they can really to minimize the time that they can interact with their users and then easy to find the things they need. So this is Uniqlo, they use it. All right, so those are the cases. And of course, machine learning can also label image or videos just like what we see here, or even will be able to detect the object in image or videos. So these are the super kind of common cases. For example, like self-driving cars, yes, they need to keep able to detect those kind of items on the road and then able to do some reactions, right? So those are the kind of cases. So how does actually machine learning able to work on those unstructured data? So what's this? What's this? It's a cat, okay? And we know this is a cat, but how would you teach a machine? I mean, right now, yes, we're talking about machine learning, so we wanted to teach a machine, but sometimes it's actually just the same when you wanted to teach a newborn babies. I mean, once they are big enough, they're able to see things. Now you wanted to teach them to recognize. Maybe you have a pet, it's a cat, and say, oh, this is a cat. And you will start to keep teaching them that what is a cat because you want them to memorize. So then what do you do? On the street, you see a cat and said, this is a cat. On another place, some friend's place, they have a cat, said that's a cat. And then there's one day you bring your child to the zoo and then you see a tiger, a lion there, and then they really finally get, oh, that's a chance. That's a cat. all right? But that's not. I mean, yes, actually, when you teach a little 3 years old children or to teach a machine, sometimes it's just similar. So what's the kind of way you're going to do that? Are you actually going to highlight for the eyes? For example, this one, they don't have the eyes, how are you going to do? Or, for example, yes, you look for the eyes, you look for the ears, you look for the noise, and you give some kind of rules to say that's a cat-like, but it is possible. Some case, yeah, I mean, I know this is a cat, but there's no ears. I mean, a very small one, very cute. Or this one, it's a cat, look at the sun. It looks nicely, super nice photo. It's a cat, you know. But it's hard, it is hard, right? So basically, based on the wild headlines, what we said, when you now wanted to teach a machine what is a cat, instead of taking care all those rules to tell them what to looking for, you actually just show them like thousands of photos of the cat. And it's just exactly the same way that you actually teach your 3 years old children. Why is that? Pretty simple, because nowadays we actually able to do something like a machine learning, and inside machine learning, we might be doing something deep learning, and deep learning is using neural network, and that basically is trying to do similar things that our human brains is trying to do. So it's actually kind of the same that you wanted to teach a machine or you wanted to teach a 3 years old children, okay? So what's the model here? It's quite modern that the AI application uses deep learning. So for example, you have a cat or dogs. Is it a cat or dog? Doesn't matter. You will have a deep neural network, which is a model, and then once you train it well, then that will be the one help you to answer that. Okay, and take an example here at Google Photos that you'll be able to do that as well. You can easily just type dog and then you'll be able to find them. Okay, or even we can easily to differentiate that, oh, different kind of people in your photos, and then we can put all of them together and then show you, oh, you are looking for the photo I took with my friend like 3 months before, and you know it's with whom, but then you don't know what's timing, so you just click on, oh, this is the person. I'm looking for photos for this person. And then we will actually able to help you to find all those photos from the same persons. That's nice. You don't even need to tell us what's their name. You just need to tell us, that's what I'm looking for. And then we simply able to recognize that. All right, so now we need to do something, which is we know the business value. Now let's see something cool. It's choose the right ML approach, okay? So we actually have 1, 2, 3. It's actually 4 because we talked about something already, which is the BigQuery ML. Yes, exactly. BigQuery ML, we have mentioned it already. So what else you have? Now we have first one is use pre-built AI, which is those pre-trained ML APIs. But actually, you know what? You don't even need to know that's a machine learning. You just need to know that's an API. You call and you get the results. And then second, you might want to add some custom models. Yeah, you can do that. And then that's an auto ML. I'll do a demo for you. And then number 3 is the one when you actually try all the things you've done before, which is I've mentioned pre-trained or the auto ML. Then at the end, you might want to go for create a custom one because that one is hard. We have mentioned it, right? When we talk about the BQML, we mentioned that, yes, if you wanted to go to create your own models, you collect the data, you clean the data, you validate it, you make sure the data set cover every kind of cases. You have the positive examples, negative examples, and then even outliers. Once you've done that, you start to do processing, and then you create some features, and then you do the training, you do the evaluation, coming back with training, evaluation, and then at the end, you might get the model. And even to taking care how to do the inferencing, which is the prediction part, it's not easy. All right, so let's see what are those easy ways you can do. I mean, because again, what you're looking for is not a model. It's not a model. Again, as a data engineer, what you're looking for, it's a magical experience to make your app, make your service, make your website better. It's not about the model itself. So if there's a way that you can have a Merlin come and click on your app and then get the magical experience, that's the way you do. You can go for the Merlin, but there's no Merlin exists. So let's try something you can actually get it. So this is the pre-trained ML APIs, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a lot of them. And then let's see some of them. We said, good machine learning model require lots of high quality training data. Why not start with something pre-trained? Because in this case, you don't even need to collect the data by yourself. And then we, Google, we actually have a lot of users, which is you guys, and we really appreciate that you guys have a lot of those inputs for us so then we can make those nice, amazing models. And then now we can bring it back to you to actually really to make your app even looks better. All right, so let's see. The first one we're going to talk about is this one called Vision API. This is one of the most cool one. I really love it. And then let's do a little bit demo as well. So we're actually able to detect some label detections, face recognitions, OCR, and then some explicit content detection, landmark detection, and of course, they know the logos. For example, a Google logo, they will be able to recognize, right? So the first thing, they can get the face detection. So in this case, yes, you will get an image, and then once you upload, they will get the face, tells you where is the face in the image, and then they will tell you what's the emotion. Okay, this one looks like it's happy or not. It says very unlikely. Okay, maybe there are no emotions, but doesn't matter. So instead of just look at the slides, let's do a quick demo. So now let's see the Vision API. So this one you can give it a try, but I mean not right now. Let me do my demo first, and then you can try it later on. All right. So this one is nice. It's just a website, and then you can give it a try. So let's see. What's the first thing we do here? Okay, what about let's try this image. Okay, there's a 2% here, and there's one actually me. So we were trying to promote our things here, which is what we talk about it. Okay, we promote our session here, and then that's me. Okay, so this is the image, and then let's see what actually able to recognize from this image from our Vision API. And of course, I'm not a robot, thank you. All right, so let's just wait a minute, and this one take a little bit of time. Why is that? Pretty simple, because I've told you, API, this one, it doesn't mean there's only one single model behind it. We have mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a lot of different kind of features here for that API. So basically, one API you're using is actually using a lot of models. So for example, here, we get the face. So mine is face 1, and then I thought I'm Joy. Okay, very unlikely. Okay, I have no emotion on my face. All right, it's okay. And then for Jay, I thought he was smiling, and it's unlikely. Okay, it's not joy enough. Okay, I get it. And then here's some object we tag. It's a person. I get my glass, and then there's a packaged goods. It's a glass, nice. And then what's the label that they get? Oh, this is an event. Oh yeah, it looks like an event. It's technology, yes. There's an audio equipment, yes. There's a microphone, right? So there's a lot of things we get it. And for web, this one, we don't get a lot of information, but yes, it's a public kind of things. Here you get the number, which is the confidence of how those results. And this is the text. They get this one. It's OnBoard, and it's 2020. All right, good. So this is a good one. This is a good example. And let's try something else. We actually wanted to go try with this one. Whew. Wow, you guys know what is that? I mean, if you guys able to read Mandarin, yes, you can read it, but I don't think you guys know what is that. I mean, maybe some of you guys study a lot. I mean, not me. I mean, I don't study that much. At least I'm not good at Mandarin. So whatever. So this is the one, and then what is that? Let's see. Just to upload. All right. Yeah, finally, now I'm a human, not a robot. Thank you. Okay, so this one's still going to spend a little bit of time. You have to upload it, and then now you can start to do some calculations and then to detect some things. And for this one, we're actually trying to go for the OCRs. What is OCR? Basically, you just go and capture those characters on it. So this one, it's an art. Yes, it is. And from the web, we basically, wow, we know what is that. So here you have in English, you have in Mandarin, so basically tells you what exactly is that. That's an art piece like a long time ago. And here's the text. Okay, they might not be 100% correct, but when you're actually trying to leverage that, I would say the best kind of ways you can do is like you are going to cut those huge image become like smaller pieces, and then you send the API for each individuals, and then you will get the higher accuracies. Okay, so that's the kind of case you can do and go for it. All right, so let's coming back to our slides about the web notations. Okay, so here if you upload a photo which is a car on it, and this one, what is that? It's a Ford, it's a Harry Potter. Wow, what is that? This is actually a photo we took in the Harry Potter studio. That one is pretty cool, okay? And if you say, hey, you just do on the slide, I mean, show me. Okay, so let me show you. Actually, I have that photo. So let's do here. So I believe it's this one. Yeah, that's the car. And then let's go for it. So this one actually sometimes, let me just upload again. Oh, it's not responding. Interesting. I kind of believe you guys are getting my resource. This is the difficulty because you are chasing my resource. Okay, it's asking me I'm a robot again. All right, it's okay. Ask me. All right, I'm not a robot. Okay, so this one is nice. It's fast. So we get something. Oh, you have a wheel. You have the toy vehicle, okay, and they have some labels here. Wow, it even tells you that's a Ford. And for the web, now we know that's a Warner Bros. Studio. Wow, so that's actually in London. Have you been there before? That's a pretty nice place to visit, and that's see a lot of those Harry Potter things. I'm a Harry Potter fan. If you are, go and visit. Okay, whatever. So this is a pretty cool case that we actually able to get a lot of information here. Okay, so let's move on. So you can actually try that with your browser. Of course, I just show you, and then you can give it a try at home later on. Now let's see something more, like this one. We also have an API doing translations, and then translation API we actually support 100+ languages. That's amazing, right? That one is nice because now it means you can travel everywhere. Even you don't speak the language, you cannot recognize them, you can easily just use this app because you can easily not just using the API to integrate with your applications, but at the same time, what do you do? Pretty simple. You can actually, having that app, which is Google Translate on your mobile. That's exactly the same kind of APIs we do. And for this one, I always use when I go travel. For example, I go to Japan, I go to Korea. I wanted to get some nice food. I go for some yakinikus. And then there's a lot of like characters. I have no idea what is that written about. But I mean, I need to make the order for my food. So I'll just take a photo, and then I'll be able to just choose to do the translations, and then I'll be able to make the order. I mean, if you're like a foodie like I am, and then go travel to somewhere, I have no idea about the language, doesn't matter. Google is with you. You can be the foodie and without the language support. Okay, so now you have the translations. And other than that, of course, we still have this one, the Cloud Nature Language API, and this is for Wootrix. So they are kind of having similar cases like the Ocado. They have a lot of feedback coming from the customers, and they need to make decisions what they are going to focus on and do the improvement. So what they do, pretty simple. They get the entity, get the sentiment, and they're having some sense about the customer feedback because basically they just simply do a count. Then they know which one people are complaining about it or people are happy with it. For example, they might go for the delivery issues or maybe that's the pricing stuff. Yes, those kind of things might happen, but now easily, very scalable ways, any order feedback comes in and then all goes to the APIs, do a simple count and then make a chart. Boom, you just get the result. Easily you know which one, go for it. But basically for me, I don't know the blue one or the pink one is bigger, but whatever, you can go for both, right? All right, so when you analyze sentiments, you actually even get a score, which is positive or negative. So you know that they are set good or bad, and you need to improve or you do something nice already. And they even give you the magnitude. So how intense, how happy they are, how sad they are, so you know that. Okay, and here, this is a cloud speech API and can be used to transcribe audio to text. So this one, I'm not going to open up the website for you because this one, we have a different ways that we can do. It's this one. It's integrated with our Google Slides. I'm actually using Google Slides. So this is a nice one that we actually integrated with our Google Slides already that able to capture a lot of those things I'm speaking right now. And this one right now, it's kind of in beta, but it's actually able to work nicely with English. All right, so now this one only works in English, but our API actually works for more than just English. Okay, I don't know how many languages it supports because it updates all the time. Go and check the documents and you will see that. All right, let me take this down. Otherwise, you guys are just staring at the subtitle. Oh, which is speech API things. Okay, so that's the cool stuff. All right, so I think that's something pretty cool because in this ways, I mean, if you're not able to hear the sound or you might be in the meeting room, you don't want to open the sound, you can still just open that one and then you'll be able to just read it instead of listen to it. Okay, and this is also, I love it, and this is what YouTube, they do it, is Vision API, but it's a video intelligent one. So what I do, pretty simple. It basically helps you to watch those videos you uploaded. Okay, so you send a video to our API and then our API help you to just go through that video super fast. Okay, of course not super fast. I mean, you upload a video, it takes some time. So we able to help you to go through the video, check every single frame, and then to see what actually shows up there in those different frames. All right, and what is the kind of use case here? For example, you have a platform and you wanted to do some recommendations. And then you know what? Instead of doing the recommendation based on the category of the video itself, you might want to go something into more detail, more specific. For example, myself, I love to look at YouTube. I mean, I spend a lot of YouTube. Okay, and then I just simply spend a lot of time there. And then I love to look at those videos. And then I always looking for, I don't really want to share that publicly, but whatever, that's a true, and it's a nice example. Yes, I love sunshine, beach, and bikini. Okay, you know, all right, you know, all right. So that's what I'm looking for. So when I watch a video, I jump, and then I found that place. I started to get the sunshine, beach, and you know what. And then I started watching it. And then once things are gone, the items I'm looking for is gone. What happened? Pretty simple. I'll just move it forward again. And then later on, once I get them back, and I go back and play. And in this case, basically, if you're able to use this video intelligent API, you know that I only spend time on those specific frames that their common is they all have sunshine, beach, and bikini. So now you know what to do the recommendation for me, no? Okay, so that might be just one of the case here. All right, so these are just some examples of our pre-trained ML APIs. And then what else we do? Okay, so let's say if I'm a weather forecaster and I wanted to predict the weather trend and flight plans for image, because we know that, oh, there's several types of clouds, like this one, this one, a lot of them, and they all indicate different kind of weather patterns. So basically, if we're able to recognize what is the cloud, then we know what's the weather. Pretty simple. And then we said, yes, we have the image, and then we have a API, which is that I just showed you. Then let's try this one with the Vision API. What we get? Sky, cloud, daytime, blue, atmosphere. Is that enough? Yes? No, of course not. It's not enough, okay? So what we have to do, we want something more specific. We wanted something more detailed, right? So there are some cases that we do need to customize something, but our pre-trained machine learning API doesn't really work. So what we do? This is the one. AutoML actually come and rescue. So what you need to do, for example, still, in this case, because you are going to train the model not by yourself, but we will train the model for you, but you still need to tell us, what do you want it to do? You want it to recognize the cloud, or for example, you have Chihuahua, which is dog, at your families, and then you have 1, 2, 3, they look exactly the same, almost the same. You know the difference, but I don't know. And then you want to create a model to be able to differentiate them. How are you going to do? That's the one. You take a whole bunch of photos of each of them, and then you put it here, and then you, of course, label it and tell us which one is which one. And then you start with the AutoML vision. We will do the train, deploy it, and serve it for you. And then you will just get an API, and you can easily just use it. And then tell your friends, hey, you cannot recognize my dogs, then go for it. There's a model. All right, so we said it's a codeless model building with Cloud AutoML. So we basically help you to do the data pre-processings. We do the ML model design. We tune the ML model parameters, and then we do the evaluations, and we do the update, and we do the evaluation, we do the update, so on, and then finally we found that yes, now it's a kind of the stage that we believe the model is good, kind of okay, that we're going to give it to our users. Then you will get the model. And then now what you do, go do your evaluations by yourself. Of course, you define the model is good or not. Then you decide you want it to deploy, and then you'll be start to do the usings. Okay, so basically, Cloud AutoML is built with neutral architecture search, and then it basically iterates to find the most accurate models. So basically, we will train a lot of different models, and then we'll just pick the one which have the best, we believe is the best, and then we give it to you. So you do one training, you click on the button, train, and then boom, we have a lot of them, and then we pick the best one to give it to you. And then you make the decision, you wanted to deploy, you're okay with that one or not. So it's basically machine learning models creating machine learning models. Yes, it is. So let's see our demos. So let's come with the first one, which is the Vision API one. Okay, so still in the console, scroll down a little bit, you'll find the Vision. Now you get AutoML Vision, and then of course you have the Vision API as well, but now we're going for this one, AutoML Vision. So now I actually have a data set here ready for you, and you know what? I'm not going to go for all the details because I have very limited time. I do want to share a lot of things for you. So I'm going to show you the result, and later on you will actually join Hans' session. He will actually go through all the details about how to use that. But just let me show you what it looks like at the end. So if you've done the data set and then you start to train the model, and once you're done, you'll get this one, a model, which is the image recognition, and the data set is cloud. And then it's deployed, yes. And then now you can go for it. So this is the test and use. And then I said, oh, the model is deployed. And then you can start to go for it. All right, now that's good. So let me upload some image and then do the testing. So say the first one. So this is one kind of cloud. And what is that kind of cloud? I mean, for this one, if you go for pre-trained ML APIs, it's going to show you the sky, show you that's a cloud, but you don't have that detail to able to help you to do the weather forecasting, right? You need to know what exactly is the kind of cloud. So let's upload this one to see what will happen. All right, that's fast. Okay, so now you can see that's a very specific ones. So you know the details. Okay, you know the details. And let's try another one, which is another kind of cloud. It looks like this. Okay? Oh wait, this is a cloud, really, it's a cloud. Okay, so go for it. All right, so this is another kind of cloud. And so now you get the detail, you basically really to get the sense about like what exactly is that kind of cloud. And then having the difference between different kind of clouds, what do you do? Pretty simple. With different kind of cloud, you'll be able to tell us what's the weather, and then you can do your job. So this is one of the cool things here, because this one, what do you do? I mean, you are able to build some customized model, and then the only thing you do is not to train the model, not the machine learning kind of concept. No, not at all. What do you do? You just only collect the data, and then that's it. But you know what? Still, collecting data is so important, and I have told you already, because if you're going to build a model, the first thing, collecting data, and even to define the question is so important. So let me give you a back example here. We trained the model, and then we wanted to recognize all kinds of clouds. What about this one? Is this a cloud? This is a Google cloud. I mean, this is a cloud. Yes, it is a cloud, but not that kind of cloud you can see on the sky. Maybe one day you will see that on the sky. All right, we'll see. All right, so you just go for that one. And then it tells you that's a specific kind of cloud. What do you think? That doesn't make any sense. Oh my God, it's not going to tell you that's a Google cloud, because what? We actually built a classification model, and classification model basically you define how many kinds of answer you have. So there's no such an option. It says it's a Google cloud, right? So this is what I said. When you do the training, when you do the model, when you're collecting data for do the training, you need to be very specifically define what's the questions you want to answer, and then at the same time, any kinds of possibility of those data, or this one is kind of like a negative examples, you need to differentiate them. You need to having those examples so then your model will understand. Or otherwise, in a case that you know every single input here, it's a kind of cloud already, and then you go for it. So for example, what do you do? For example, you can go with, first, go with the pre-trained ML API. Of course, I mean, if you try this one, with our pre-trained ML APIs, what happened? Well, basically tells you that's a logo, that's a Google Cloud Platforms. Okay? So basically you will just get it. What is that? Right? You will get what is that. Here doesn't tell you that's a cloud. No, it tells you that's a logo. Okay, so now you might actually want to go for that integration, because when you do something, you don't need to rely on just one model. You can even just do this one with the pre-trained ML API first, and then you differentiate, and then once we said that's a cloud, and then you go for that more detail. That's a possible ways. So it's not just choosing one of them, but you might also have a combination between them. Okay, so that's something cool. Oh wait, I still have one more thing I wanted to share. That's the one we said, yeah, most of the time, yes, we do need some image support, but also we wanted to do something like the BQML. But BQML, I still need to build the model by myself. I still need to do a lot of things. Then let's try this one called AutoML table. So this one have a very specific case here that we do. It's the New Year taxi fare. So there's a data set very, very famous on the website, on the internet. It's the New Year taxi fare. That's a public data. And then that's the data it's very commonly used to do the training for machine learning and then do some practice. So this is the one. So what do you do with this table, AutoML table? First thing is like you can create a new data set. So basically I have one already, so let's see. So this is the data, and then the first thing you do is actually import. And then we give you the option that you can import from BigQuery, or even having a CSV file from cloud storage, or even to upload a file from your computers. Yes, you can do that. And then of course, it's quite common you have a lot of data in a data warehouse in BigQuery, so then you can just go for it. And then for this one, I have done it already, so let's see. Once I import, will be look like this. So they will automatically go and check all the columns you have, what's the name of the column, and then what's the type. And then now here you can just come and decide it, say it's renewable or not. And then for example, some of the missing data, yes, you see this one missing a lot. And then some of the data having some other issues, but whatever, we give you a lot of insights. And then you see all those things, then what's next? Okay, now you know that before you go for a machine learning, before you go for AutoML table, you actually need to define something first, which is you need to define the question. So what is our question here? New Year taxi. So we actually wanted to predict the price before we take in the taxi. It's just like if you use Uber, Lyft, Grab, Gojek before. Yes, that's what they do, because they will give you estimates price, or they just define the price before you get on the ride. So what's the goal you want? Okay, in this case, in this data set, we do have the total amount. So you can see here, we have the total amount. And then you can just easily just choose, this is the label I want, because I want to build a model to able to help us to decide what's the total amount. So you set the target column. So that specific column as the label you wanted. Then what else you do? Train models. So here is one thing. You define the name and then you define the budget. For example, I say 15. So that's a maximum node hours you're going to use. And then for that more detail about price, you go check the documents. But basically the idea here is like, yes, you will set a budget, and then if we are able to do something, we will try our best within that budget to create something for you. And if we kind of found that, oh, we're able to get a model which is good enough, and we don't need that 15 node hours, then we will just stop it. We are not going to burn every single budget, okay? And then once you define that, there's something you need to do. You will choose what kinds of feature columns, which is those columns you're actually going to do. These are the input data. Not yet doing anything like a feature engineering. No, you don't. And then of course I say, I'm not going to use the total amount. How come you use the answer to predict the answer? I mean, doesn't make any sense, right? So you are not going to do that. And then most of the things you are not going to do. But you do want to have something like, for example, time, very important. And then longitude, latitude, basically you are from where. That's something you need. And then how much passenger maybe the distance, if you're able to get that, yes, that's nice. So those are the informations you will get beforehand, before you get on the ride. Right? All right, so now you're done, and then you can go for the training. You just click that button, and then we start to do the trainings. So this one we said it's a regression model. How come we know it's a regression model? Pretty simple, because you choose the target column, which is a continuous number, which is the price. So that's a regression model. And then we set the target, and then we have some input feature, which is 8, and then how many rows we have? 15 million. And then you can just click on the button and go start the model trainings. Okay, so today I'm not going to run it because I don't have demos tomorrow. All right, so let's see the model I get. So I actually have 2 models already. So those 2, I've done it differently. So the first one is actually this one on the right hand side. This one I just get every single feature into it. But this one, you know what? The answer is actually not that good. Because, when we actually going to differentiate our models to say that one is good or bad, we use some metrics. For example, RMSE is quite a common one. You use it for regression models. And then for this one, you see this one is 6 point something. And then this one, the other one, is 1 point something. So basically, if you know it, those arrow numbers, or you say those metric, which is RMSE, when it's lower, that means your model is better. It means it's better. So easily you have this one is better, the left-hand side. And this one, how many features we have? It's actually the one I just told you. We have the distance, we have the count, we have the longitude, latitude, and then we have the time. And this one actually works so nice. And then this one is deployed actually, so we can give it a try later on. So you will see the evaluation. So let's check. The bad one, the evaluation tells you what's the most important feature here to actually help you to taking care of the prediction. It tells you, oh, you use the fair amount to actually tell you the fair amount. I mean, just doesn't make any sense, right? So coming back to our models, let's go for the one. This is the one. So this is the one making sense, because we know the location is the most important thing, because location to location basically tells you the distance as well, and then that just makes things making sense. All right, so using our human insights, we also know that. But I mean right now, did you tell our AutoML table, said, hey, use that specific feature and go for the training? No, you didn't. You actually just tell us those are the things, and then did you tell us how to do feature engineering? No. How to do the cleansing, how to do the pre-processings? No, not at all. And even if you really know machine learning already, you might know there's a hyperparameter tuning, learning rate kind of tunings, whole bunch of hyperparameter things you need to do the tunings, and these are all taken care here in AutoML table. And that's just simply amazed me. All right, so now we have one which is deployed, and then let's see. You can do online predictions. So it's not automatically deployed, because once you deploy, that means it's actually allocating some resource. So then from that time, you have to pay for it. You have to pay for those resources you allocate. All right, so now I'm going to do a trial here. I have some numbers on it, and now I just wanted to get a predict. So once I click on it, you'll get a number here. All right, so this one, it's 0.477, okay? And this is the one, this is the total amount, so the total amount, okay, this is the total amount, all right? Instead of the total amount, this is the total amount, all right? And this one, if I wanted to change, for example, the distance goes like a double, what happened? I mean, the original place and the destination doesn't change, but I mean, sometimes taxi just go around, right? It's possible. So if you do the predict again, oh, the number is changed, okay? So that's kind of the case here, that you can easily just create a model, and then you'll be easy to do something, all right? This is something just simply amazing, which is a ML model, create an ML model for you. All right, so of course, other than that, you still get the one that we have the BigQuery UIs. And by the way, one of the cool things that we also have is like, now if you're done with the AutoML things, I'm pretty sure that there's something in beta or still like on the roadmap that we will be able to have those model put into here integrated with BigQuery. So that means you can create a model outside of BigQuery, but use that model here in BigQuery and then do the batch predictions if you want to. And of course, still, like I said, I mean, the last things you're going to do is to create a model by yourself. I mean, I totally understand sometimes you do believe you wanted to try something and then you go for it. But I mean, in reality, what you're looking for, again, it's not the model. You're looking for the magical experience. Again, magical experience, repeat after me, magical experience, that's you're looking for, okay? So if you don't need to create a model by yourself, do all the hard workings, don't do it. Just use the pre-trained ML API, or even we have Auto ML to support you for customized things, or we have BQML. Actually do a little bit, at least those tuning kind of things, hyperparameter tunings, those kind of stuff for you automatically. That will just make things easier. Okay, so this is the last thing. If you're still not satisfied with all the existing things that I've mentioned, then that's the time you go for that. All right. Time flies, really. So time for our summary. So what we have mentioned, we talk about the bisection bandwidth, okay? Because this is the key things that you're able to do, compute and storage separate. And then when you separate, it scales better. It scales better, again, it scales better. And at the same time, that go and give you the service, because now you can store data somewhere and then you can choose whatever kind of computing you can go for it. You can do machine learning, you can do analytics, you can go with a cluster in Dataproc, or even just in Dataflow to start to do some streaming processing job, right? So you separate, and the reason now we can separate is because we have bisection bandwidth network within our region with our data centers. And then we open up all the innovation and infrastructures for you, and these are nice because we spend a lot of time, we have a lot of researchers and make those technology available. And now you don't even need to know what's all in detail. You just need to know as a user and then start to do something here, right? Because in 2002, we started publish those papers, and then those papers at the end just become all those service for you. And even the last one, which is in 2018, wow, you get AutoML. So now even machine learning things will help you to taking care. So that will be the baseline. That's a challenge for data scientist people, because now you have a competitor here to taking care. All right. So yes, you're going to use those services that will make your life easier. And then there's many roles in data-driven organizations we know. And then the most important things at the end is still what's the result. You want a good user experience for your customers. So doesn't matter what's your role in the data-driven organizations, you will try to find the easiest way to make those magical experience happen. And here we have a lot of things that we just show you here in each module to show you what you can do and make that happen, okay? So again, the data challenge here, you might always need to keep moving on to try new things. For example, if your things are here in Google Cloud already, you will also still need to do migration. Like what? Your data all in cloud storage, but now before you might using Dataproc, and then now you want to try Dataflow, and then might be want to try go with something like a Auto ML, right? Those are the migration at the same time it is, right? It's not just about like on-prem to the cloud or different cloud to Google Cloud. It's not like that. It's all the new technology. Once we have something, even new service for you, that's the timing you need to do some migrations, okay? And then now we show you a lot of different kind of ways you can do scalable things, okay? Analyzing large data, seeing scalable, what's the service you can do with that? BigQuery, yes. And then to build streaming data pipeline, what do? Pops out data flow. And then to apply machine learning to your data, We have 4 options, right? Pre-trained ML APIs, BigQuery ML, Auto ML, and the last one, you can host or train your model here at Google Cloud, for example, using TensorFlow, okay? And we show you that we have a whole bunch of different kind of big data product for Google Cloud Platform to do the storage, ingestion, analytics, machine learning, and serving them. All of them, you have them ready here. And still, if you still want to go for the on-prem kind of things, you have those existing resources. Yes, we understand. So then, if you want some flexibility, try those cloud data pro. That one quickly launch, resize easily, and then most of the time, you are not going to have to babysit your cluster, okay? Because in that way, anything scale, just come here, because several seconds later, you will just get the cluster and then ready for you to do anything you wanted. And then once you're done, what to do? Have the result outside of the cluster, finish the cluster. No more charge, okay? And where to keep the data? For example, cloud storage is a good one, all right? And of course, we know the challenge here for the different kind of volumes, velocity, varieties. And then for that, we have this one, which is a serverless big data pipeline. Come with the PubSub to get the ingestion of streaming data and have data flow to process them in real time. And again, with PubSub combined with data flow, those two combined together, you have exactly once data processing. And that's really something meaningful because it's hard to deal with those duplicate data when you deal with streaming kind of case. And here, PubSub plus data flow, it's automatically help you to deal with that. And then furthermore, you go for archive in cloud storage, or you trigger something in PubSub to trigger alarm, for example, or you wanted to go with BigQuery, get some real-time APAC query, get the live dashboard, and using all the BI tools you kind of familiar with already, all right? And don't forget, BQML, super simple, using standard SQL to create a model, to do the training, to do the evaluations. And then here's a very simple chart. This is time to do the screenshot. Ka-chung. Now you get a screenshot. You know how to choose the right models. And then, of course, you have 1, 2, 3 kinds of options to go for different kind of what? Of course, you will use the pre-trained ML API if you can, or you want customized, go for Auto ML, and the last thing, you go for a customized model. All right, so this is the course, and I believe that you learned a lot here, and this is the starting point of your big data journey, and you will learn a lot of things, all the fundamentals about from data to insight, a little bit data engineering, a little bit machine learning on Google Cloud Platform, and a little bit something more advanced as well. And we have a whole bunch of self-paced lab. Again, self-paced lab, I love it because any kind of new feature is right there. And once you do it, once you try it out, you know exactly how it works. That's a great place really to learn, okay? And then our GitHub repo, that's the place you can get all the sample codes that we've done here. And most of the things I've done the demo is right there. It is right there, okay? So that's the place you go for it. And then we do really encourage everyone to go for our certification, which is Google Cloud Data Engineering certification. That's the one I have. You can check my linking, you will know what is that. And that gives you industry recognition and a personal development as well. And it's really good for your career, I'll say. Okay, so really, again, thank you for joining our digital event. And please stay tuned for our hunt to show you quick labs.